Welcome back to America's Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. This segment is brought to you by my company, Bull Realty. For client-focused asset and occupancy solutions, visit bullrealty.com or contact me directly. Well, today we're talking about the multifamily market, and we've had views from analysts, we've had views from owners. Now we're getting a view from a broker who's selling apartments every day and has been doing it for quite some time. Please welcome Scott Spalding. He's president of the apartment group at my firm, Bull Realty. Scott, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me today, Michael.
Well, Scott, first thing I want to ask you, and I think a lot of people are curious about, is how are buyers of multifamily and their lenders underwriting projects today? It seems like a lot of people are a little concerned that we're a little long in the tooth in this cycle. That maybe the fundamentals that have been fantastic really for multifamily are starting to slow down a bit. Are you seeing any differences the way people are underwriting?
Well, Michael, buyers are still very exuberant about the market today. You know, some buyers are underwriting for lower returns than they have in the past, and they're comfortable with that. You know, and if we're, selling a property for a seller, it's our job to go out and, find those buyers. You also have some buyers who are a little more careful, if you will, than they have been in the past. As you mentioned, we're long in the cycle. We have an election that's, forthcoming, as well as the rent growth is starting to slow down. So you have some lenders as well as, some buyers that are just a little more cautious than they have been in the past. But the market is still very, very strong.
Yeah. Well, so would you classify it still as a seller's market, not really a buyer's market?
Yeah, it's definitely a seller's market, because there's very, very limited supply, and you have new investors that are coming into the market daily. So, sellers have the advantage today.
Yeah. What do you say to sellers out there, or owners that are particularly trying to maybe time the absolute top of the market? It's like, it seems like this market just keeps getting better and better, and now it's starting to slow down. Do you have some sellers that are really trying to time it to sell right at the peak?
Yes, we do have some sellers that are looking to time it at the peak of the market. And I'm afraid that some of them are going to miss their opportunity to sell. They're kind of timing it like someone would time the stock market, if you will. And I think they're going to look back in a few years and say, wow, I wish I would have sold in 2019. They may look back and say, the economy was strong, interest rates were low, the market was really hot. What I could sell for in 2019 is a lot less than what I may sell for in 2021.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want to look back going, wow, 19, we had really low interest rates, so we had a fantastic market. And of course, you never know what's going to happen in the economy. Sometimes something catastrophic can happen. Well, what about the activity you get on assignments today when you're taking something to market? Are you getting the same type of activity that you got a year or 2 years ago? What's it like?
Well, Michael, we sell core, value add, and distressed properties throughout the Southeast. And every product type that I take to market is getting multiple competing buyers. Of course, the underwriting is real tight, but the market is still very, very frothy. As a matter of fact, I had a call last week from a potential seller. We were discussing, the sale of his property. He said, Scott, I'm worried. And I said, so, what's troubling you? And he says, I'm worried I'm going to look back in 2 years and go, what the heck was I thinking? You can get 10-year money fixed for like 4.8% right now. He said the economy's strong. We're seeing signs that this is the top of the market. And I don't want to look back and say, why didn't I take advantage of the opportunity that I had? And so he's taking some chips off the table and selling in 19.
Yeah, well, it can't be a bad time when you look at the entire market. And like you said, people are kind of exuberant about the economy, and people are positive, and that could change. So what is a tip, Scott, for a seller if you're thinking about selling a property today? There's some mistakes to avoid, or some tips you could share?
Well, if you look how interest rates have dropped here recently, this may be a window, if you will, just to take advantage of where we are in the marketplace. Interest rates are low, and if the economy continues to roll along, we may experience some inflation. and the Fed may increase rates. I mean, they actually wanted to increase rates this year, but when we had the volatility in the stock market and we had the government shutdown, the timing just didn't seem right. So it may not take too much for them to change their way of thinking. So there just may be a window here to buy and sell in 2019. And that's just me. It might just be the broker in me that's saying that, but I think all the signs are there.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. And well, great information. What would you leave our audience with a tip related to multifamily today?
I would say whether you're buying or selling, it's a great time to be in the market.
Excellent, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us around the country or around the world. We appreciate your views and you sharing the show and reaching out to us. All our social media accounts can be found at our show website, which is commercialrealestateshow.com. Till next week, be sure that you always lead, learn, and laugh, and join us for America's Commercial Real Estate Show. America's Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty. For customized asset and occupancy solutions, visit bullrealty.com. Commercial Agent Success Strategies. Incredible training for commercial agents. Visit commercialagentsuccess.com. Red IQ. Turning multifamily data into actionable intelligence. Visit rediq.com.